Hello everyone, welcome back to StudyBuddy Code channel. We're solving SAT maths questions in a domain algebra. The difficulty level is medium. The questions that have been selected are not in any BlueBook practice tests. If you would like to know how I've selected these questions, you can go back to the first video in this playlist. Let's read the question now. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of 5x? Make sure of that. It's not what is the value of x or y. It's 5x. Now, I'll give you a minute to solve this question, so you can go ahead and pause the video. Okay. Now, if you see these two equations we have been given, it's y equals 3x and the other one is 2x plus y. So immediately, you can put this in Desmos and solve it pretty quickly. I would show you that as well. However, I'm going to show you another way to solve this as well. This is the first way. Let's say this is the first way. Okay. So as soon as I see these two equations, I have the urge to substitute. Let me just write it down again. I have the urge to substitute y for the given value that we've been given. So you can substitute y with 3x, correct? So that would be 2x plus 3x equals 12. Now let's solve this algebraically. So 2x plus 3x would be 5x, sorry. Excuse me. Okay, 2x plus 3x would be 5x equals 12. Let's not forget that. And here, x would be equal to 12 divided by 5, correct? Great, we found x. The question is only asking you for what is the value of 5x. Now, if, for example, here, if it was written another option, let's say instead of d, it was 12 divided by 5, and if you accidentally chose this, then you would sadly get your answer wrong because they're asking us about 5x, not x. So if you see here, they gave us a little help or a little shortcut. When you added 2x plus 3x, you got 5x. Immediately what they're asking for. And 5x equals 12. Great. Do we have it in our options? Great. Choose it and move on. There you go. That's how quick you can solve this question. Okay. You can use this little shortcut. Make sure. Sometimes that's not quite evident. You probably would get 6x equals 12 or something like that. And then you would have to find the x. Let me just give you a quick example of that. For example, here, if we would have been given, let's say 7x equals, let's not make it that hard, 7x equals 14, sure. And here they're asking us about 9x, why not? So that's not, you cannot take that shortcut here. Oops, okay. X would be 14 divided by 7, because here it's multiplying, that would be 2. 7 times 2 is 14, that's why. And we have x. Now substitute x here. 9 times 2, it would be 18. However, since we already got 5x here, you don't need to do all of that. Okay, now let me show you how to solve this using Desmos. Let's first pick that answer. So I've typed in the two equations that they gave us. So here you might get a question, like we haven't found out the solution here. We're not calculating anything. How would we find the answer to this question? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The solution is the intersection of these two equations or functions. Because usually the solution, the solution is when a point, a certain point, xy point, is the same in both equations. And when it's the same, you would get the same point for those two equations, correct? Same point even in the graph of those two equations. And that is, if you have the same point, that means it is intersecting at a certain point, at that same point. So here, if you type these two equations in Desmos, and if you click on one of them, you would get this point, this one right here. Okay, and that's your xy. Now, since you've been given x, just multiply it by 5. I usually do this. I erase that and times 5, and you would get 12. So that's a way to solve this using Desmos.